What's up, everyone? It's Little Big Robots. I need a theme song. That would be cool. Somebody write me a theme song. Give it to me for free. Copyright for free, too. This is literally what my channel's all about. This is a little version of a big robot. So this is a 1/144 scale. That means it takes basically 144 of those guys, 143, whatever, stacked up to equal the real height of a, real one of these, I guess we'd say. But anyway, so they're big robots. Pilot sits right in there, I think, in the middle. Pilot's around. This one is the entry grade. Entry grade is literally what it sounds like. It is a, for someone who's brand new to the hobby, maybe a kid, or, in fact, I've seen a lot of people give their kids these. And so they're really easy to build. You just snap them apart. I'll talk about that in a minute. But to kind of go over what this is, Gundam Breaker Battlelogue is a, if you want to pause that, you can read that. Is a small, well, I want to say it's a webisode. There's little webisodes. They're like 8 minutes, 10 minutes long, and I think there's probably 10 of them. I need to catch up on them. And they're all about kids getting together. They build these models. They set it on a thing. Let's just say a thing. It scans the model in, and then the kid controls the model in a virtual space, or in some of the series, they actually control the real models. So if that was me, I would set it on there. The plastic has a coating on it that reacts to this power stuff. Whatever. Plastic particles, and then you control it. And this little model moves around and you fight them. And they fight on little landscapes. It's freaking adorable. That is easily my favorite Gundam series. It's Gundam Build Fighters, Gundam Build Divers, Gundam Build Fighters Tribe. But it's essentially a long series they've had for several years that is about kids building these and using them in a competition, and all about the passion of the hobby. But really, they're designed also to sell these toys, which is, to me, I always loved. I know people are like, oh, I hate basically an advertisement for the toy. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm a kid of the 80s, so that's something I love. It's still near to my heart. I found the best toys in the world sometimes through cartoons. But these are quality cartoons. What this is doing, though, is this is in the new series, Gundam Breaker Battlelogue, the miniseries, where the Bandai, who makes them, really wanted to start getting into the US. It wanted to kind of do not a US exclusive, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, because I know you will, but a line that was kind of released in the US and then later came to Japan. Normally it goes to Japan first. The instructions will always be in Japanese. As you can see here, as I'm going through them, there's no Japanese on here, I think, at all. So this is really a push on Bandai's part to get, by the way, always mark when and where, if you can, you finish your models. Just trust me on that. As somebody who's collected and been a toy guy for his whole life, always put a date or something. You will thank me later, trust me. But this is their attempt to kind of move into America in a comfortable way, where English speaking, I should say, not just America, but obviously they're emphasizing America here, can get into the hobby. So what's cool about this one, though, is normally you're going to need some nippers and a razor and some tweezers and stuff like that. And this one literally is designed to where you take the sprue and you snap it off with your fingers. Now, I was going to build this in a more traditional way. I was going to cut it off with nippers and sand it down and make it. And I was like, no. I'm going to do it exactly how they say here, which is really kind of funny how they say to do it. Because they've done that for a while. They've been like, here, just snap off and assemble, blah, blah, blah. But this is the first one I have built, really, of a kind of an entry or a lower grade, or let's say like a kid's grade or something, that worked almost perfectly. It was so exciting, because I could imagine being a child and a kid, and your dad or your mom or somebody gives you this and you build it alongside with them. You could build it in 10, 20 minutes, probably about 30 minutes for most kids, I imagine. And it just works so well. Not only that, but because of the type of plastic, it's some kind of, it just seems to be a really nice quality plastic. And when you're holding it like this, it feels super sturdy. So as you pose it, I mean, look at that. You can hear there's some resistance there. As you're posing it and stuff, it really, really fits together well. Not only that, but the weapons and everything that go into it are designed just really basic. So A lot of Gundam or Gundam model kits, Gunpla, will have a little thing that, see, it does have it here, but you can actually just pop that out. We'll have a thing that you have to hold, and then you have to open his fist, and da-da-da. And in this one, no, you just literally stick it in, and there it is. It has the grip if you want to put the grip around. The fists are not separate pieces like in a real Gundam, normal Gundam model. They're just one piece to keep it simple. The gun does not need to be, the gun doesn't have to have the fist opened and closed again. You just literally slide it. Now, that makes for a handle that is not as cool looking, from a normal gun or whatever, but still. So you just literally just slide it in the fist like that. And not only that, but it holds it so, I mean, look, it's holding these poses. There's some way that they designed the tolerances on this. The engineering, as usual, is brilliant. All Gundam kits are just brilliant. But the way you snap this apart and then assemble it back together is just so satisfying. Now, I was like, hey, I'm not going to cut off every little extra bit of plastic, right? I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it just with my fingers like I'm a child. I am a full-grown child, I guess. And I'm gonna see how it looks, how it feels. And you know what's funny is a lot of these pieces of plastic came off just as I was using the kit or building the kit. They came off in my hand, so like they just kind of rubbed off. So as you can see, I would want to take a razor to that one. There is a good seam line, but overall, where you see them, it's really not a problem. See, you can probably see one where I actually might have scraped it a little bit. I keep hitting the camera, sorry. And there's little bitty versions. You can see little copies of it, but a lot of them just came right off with my fingernail, smoothly too. But even with that, as you're looking at it, there's no real blatant, horrible, ugly marks. Now, granted, this is a white kit. White will kind of hide white nub marks better. But he's so posable, and he's so. I mean, look at that neat little. Look how his waist is pivoting on itself, so it could pose. The skirt moves, the front skirt. The side skirts, do they move? I can't remember. So yeah, the side skirts move. So the front skirt moves a bit, but his leg is as posable as it would be almost in a normal kit. It's not insanely posable, and it doesn't have all the gimmicks that like a master kit. But I mean, look at that. So you can do all that cool stuff with this. I think this was $10. I believe it was $10. So I wanted to show you that. That's the American version. And then I wanted to get one of these. I've never built one of these. I built the other kind of entry style kits. I believe this is probably the same kit. But I think it comes with a bit more. So that's basically, that was $10, that was $10. The reason I got this, and in fact I got 2 of these, is because I'm going to leave one in the box, because I think that all-in-one appeal of this, you can literally hand this to somebody and say, here, you can build, oh, see the legs coming off. You can build that and have a Gundam. You can at least get started on the experience of the hobby or whatever, and it's done. And not only that, but anybody could do it, and it comes out great. Now the stickers are, there's a couple places the stickers, I couldn't get that one on right for some reason. That was a bit of an issue. And this sticker on the leg, the one that's wrapped around his leg like a garter belt, a bit finicky, so kids might have issues with the stickers. The big ones on the shoulders, not bad at all. I put this one on, the blue one, without realizing they had this other one, which I kind of prefer that one. But you can see the stickers are there's not a ton of them. It just has some nice color separate. Like this is a separated part. On the back here's a color separated part. And it just has really, really fantastic details for something that you get for $10. You assemble in maybe 30 minutes. You could probably do this as like a 7 or 8 year old. And then you've got you a model kit that you can pose and have, set it on your desk, and it looks fantastic. Something about this just thrills me more than a lot of more fancier kits and stuff. And I think because it speaks so much more to a kid who might be collecting toys, or imagine having this when you were, now some of you could imagine it because you're that young, but for me, I couldn't imagine having something this cool that you could build but have so much range of movement and stuff within 30 minutes. And they're so cheap that you could buy 3 or 4 of them, and you could go through them like playing with them out in the dirt and stuff, and you're not worried about it. But they have all the standard positioning and stuff of almost of a normal Gundam kit, but it's just an incredible blade. If you haven't done this one yet, or this one I believe is the same kit, somebody correct me, but I can speak for sure for this one. This is kind of the first kit they released at Target. Now I think you can find them anywhere. If you haven't built that one because you thought, oh, that's a little integrated, silly, build it. And then look at the sprues. They're absolutely empty. There's no leftover parts. There's nothing hanging on. You can do what I do, which is collect all my screws and eventually recycle them, or you know, you could save these and people build stuff with these later. And look, no leftover parts. It was designed to do this, but it's kind of, to me, the first time I've really seen a kit that had such efficiency built in, if that makes sense. The engineering, everything about it. It's not the best looking kit. There are more details ones, you know, and other ones out there, but for what you're doing here, I'm just so thrilled by this. This is one of my top favorite things I've ever done, honestly, is just because it speaks to the inner kid in me so much. Such a fun little kit. I would definitely recommend getting it and building it just to have. I collect all the build fighters, divers, lines, and this is technically in that same universe, so this is part of my collection. But even if you're not intending on getting it, I would pick one up and try it out. Let me know what you think of it, and let me know if anybody has built this one, what they think. I want to say there was, oh, see, it's snapped together to the same. No stickers. Oh wow, that says no stickers even. So I'm super curious about this one. It makes me so excited. But I would honestly, if I was going to go hang out at a kid's party or something, you could buy 10 of these for $100, and every kid could build their own model. There's no razors involved. It's just genius. Amazing band. I love it. Have a good day, everybody. Subscribe if you haven't. That would be nice. For no other reason except that it gives me a thrill to see the number go up, because I'm a guy with a job. I have money. I don't necessarily need YouTube money, but still, subscribe. Leave comments. I love hearing from people what they think, but what a fantastic little kit. I'm gonna go play war now.